Okay, in this video on centering, I've just tossed the clay down there and just patting it into place, giving it a rough, smooth surface. And now I'm starting to pull it up and down a few times to center the clay. It'll feel nice and smooth as you pull it up and press it back down. You can just feel how it stays concentric when it's nice and centered. It's not wobbling on the bat or anything. So this clay again is pretty moist, so it's pretty easy to work with. A little more moisture than usual. You have to be a little bit careful of that because it'll shrink more when it's fired because of the moisture. So here I'm starting to open it up a little bit and start to work on the base of the bowl. Want to make sure it's not too thick or too thin. So I use both hands touching one another to just kind of keep them in place as I move the clay from the center on out, making sure I have a consistent thickness at the base. Here I am with the rib packing it down a little bit, just enough to compress it. Now I'm doing a pull on the clay. Pretty simple one there, just getting it started. Another short pull here, just to kind of round it out, just kind of get the kind of where I want to pull the clay from. Now I'm going to start to pull a little bit taller here. I'm leaving a little bit of a bead at the top. You can see my two fingers. My two hands touch one another, so they kind of relate to one another as far as the thickness between the two fingers, as you pull the clay up the wall. So as much as possible, at least for myself, I like to have contact between either my left thumb with my right hand, or something like that. I can relate to it for location and thickness. It's consistent. Here I'm using a stick to compress the base again here. Leave that nice little curve from the base to the wall. Using a plastic rib on the outside now to compress the outer surface and smooth out the inside. You can see the throw marks on the wall on the inside, but flatten them out a little bit there. So I'm doing another pull on it here now after I compressed it. Again, leaving the clay at the top, a little bit of a bead. Again, I'm pulling the rib up here with it and the sponge on the inside, just enough to try to smooth out that outer surface. Using the spoon here to leave a nice little curve beneath the top rim of the bowl. Trimming off the base here a little bit so it'll dry a little faster. If you leave clay at the bottom there, sometimes it seems like it just takes a long time to dry out. And it's a little bit thicker than the wall, so it's just slower. Here I'm using the tool to just clean that up a little bit. Again, I'm just working on the inside that need a nice smooth radius between the base wall and the start of the wall. It's finished here with throwing. It'll be allowed to leather dry, it'll be stained, it'll be carved, and then it'll be bisque fired. And after that, it'll have a semi-transparent glaze, and then it'll be fired to cone 5.